Hello, Gemini, and welcome to your reading for the weeks of October. I think I've been saying 21, but it's really the 22nd, roughly, through the 4th of November, 2024. This is a reading if you're Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising, or have another significant Gemini placement in your chart. If you're new to this channel, welcome. It's good to have you. And if you're returning, welcome back. You can check my links in the description box below to both my website, social media, and other things if you want to know more about my services. And if you would like to engage me for either tarot, astrology readings, healing, energy healing, or some of the other services that I offer in terms of spiritual coaching and so forth. So yeah, complete picture there. And also the link to my Instagram and Facebook. I do a daily, mostly daily, live stream on Instagram in the morning, which again, if you can't join, the recording is always there. And I do post the recordings here every few days, and as well as my channelings of Archangel Azrael. So yeah, so just that little bit of promo there, so you know what I'm up to. Let's see if I can get this camera to be a little better. Okay, let's just jump straight into your reading, Gemini. I think I've talked before about all of the very strange astrological aspects. Interestingly, we now have a second comet in the sky. We had a first comet that appeared, and comets are always omens of change, and we're going to have, as the one goes away, and a second one is coming in. So you know, between that and all of the other aspects going on, which there's plenty of other videos out there that are going to talk about them, and I don't want to spend too much time talking about them, but let's just say it's going to be a very intense time energetically and in terms of shifts and changes until about the second week of November, and then things will quiet down. Probably close to the end of the time of this reading, although I think this reading will be kind of in the period that's kind of the culmination of all of that energy. So let's see, Gemini. Okay, I feel like you are getting ready right now. With the first house, you have the Sphinx with the Three of Wands. So this is you. The Three of Wands is generally somebody who's looking out, waiting for their ship to come in. You know, this is somebody who is looking to potentially collaborate with others, looking for support, looking to do new things. However, we also have it with Sphinx. So there does seem to be this sense of taking time out, being alone. Sphinx is about being more secretive, or perhaps about digging into certain aspects of your own identity, trying to, maybe staying away from people a little bit as you're spending time excavating, trying to figure things out about yourself. But at the same time, there seems to be this doing this in the service of wanting to get out there and wanting to manifest your goals. But it's interesting, a lot of the readings I've been doing are showing that there seems to be a time from this is definitely a time to reflect. I feel like for the rest of this month, I mean, there are certain things that we have been acting upon, certain things perhaps that we're cleaning up in our lives, but I do feel like there, as one cycle is ending and a new one's beginning, making new decisions right now might be better off waiting until we get to maybe the middle part of November. But in any case, you are taking a lot of time out to do some self-reflection and to see what it is you're trying to manifest, who you're looking to work with here. Now, there does seem to be some issues around money here. We're definitely seeing money as an anxiety. And with water, there seems to be either changes connected to it, or to money, or the idea of money flowing in and flowing out just as fast. So as your paycheck comes in, then there's all this stuff that you got to pay for, So yeah, there's this kind of flux here with regard to finances. And we have it with the Emperor. So the Emperor really is about control, taking action, and getting control. Maybe you've had a situation where you feel like you've had to do a lot of spending lately, and you're like, okay, enough. I need to get a handle on this. I need to have some discipline. Emperor sometimes can also indicate a outside person coming in who is helping. Emperor is strong father energy, but it does not have to be a father person or father figure necessarily. You can decide if that applies to you. But yeah, this generally is energy of being in charge and taking control of something. So I feel like, yeah, and I feel like the number 4 is significant here. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's a period of 4 days, 4 weeks, or even 4 months, but there's a sense here that you are, there's just something here. There's been either some kind of a block, or you just feel like you've had to, for whatever money you're making, that you're not really being able to save anything, or if you've had to basically write the checks or go online and pay the bills, just as soon as the money comes in. So, but this also can herald a change in which case you are going to get a better control of things. Right now, though, you might be going with the flow a little bit with regard to money. Now, let's look at the houses that I always connect potentially to job. That's only one aspect of them. But I usually look at the 3rd, 6th, and 10th houses with respect to job and career. Now, 3rd house would be more about commerce, business, like if you run your own business, work for a small business, something like that. 6th house is more about anything you do in service to others, because it is Virgo energy. So that could be, I generally think of jobs where we get paid by other people to do certain things. I tend to think of that as more 6th house stuff. And the 10th house, which of course is your house of career, and this is more about your work in a bigger sense. Sometimes, as you know, we take jobs to make money, but then our career, what we think of as our career or where our legacy is, maybe something different. So, okay, so you've got Pyramid with the Queen of Chalices. So right now I'm feeling like there is a, this is testiness or challenges with regard to communication or with regard to business, okay? Because the 3rd house is Gemini energy, your own energy. So this is a situation of being tested or challenged, and we have it with Queen of Chalices. So this is about emotion. This is about compassion. It's very motherly kind of energy in a nurturing kind of a way. So I almost feel like there's an emotional challenge here. I feel like you might be being challenged to follow your heart in some kind of a matter. So I feel like recent tests that you have been experiencing have been trying to put you more in touch with what feels right for you, what is more authentic, what your own intuition is telling you need to do, or what direction that you need to go with something. Now, if I look at the 6th house, okay, this is interesting. You've got fire with death. So for some of you, this challenge is going to come in the form of maybe leaving a job, because we have death. We have the idea of something that is dead, that is coming to an end. And fire is the inspiration to, burn up what's no longer needed, transmute it into something else, find something else. So you're looking for inspiration here with fire, in the face of some kind of an ending. Now, this is also the house of health and also the house of worry and anxiety. So, but I would not worry about seeing death here. Death is more like the idea that something is changing or transforming, and we may be trying to keep up here. We may be trying to find the energy to keep up. We may be, again, like I said, purging things out of our lives that we no longer need. But I tend to think of fire as being, fire can have that purifying kind of an element to it. But I do think of fire here more as, being inspired to do something different, being inspired to solve a problem, to meet the ending where it's at. So this could be something more generally you're worried about if you're not leaving a job, but there definitely seems to be this attitude of something coming to an end and being inspired in the direction of what this new beginning is going to be. Now your 10th house of career, we have Ankh with the 6 of Wands. Yeah, this kind of jives with what I was saying down here with the Queen of Chalices. This is about you following your heart in your career. Now, again, Ankh can also indicate a Venus-oriented career for some people, okay? Hairdressing, fashion design, makeup aesthetics, massage, alternate healing, things like that, that tend to be, what we tend to think of as being connected not just to fashion and beauty, but also to like going to the spa, things like that. But it does not have to be that at all. This can just be us doing what we really love, what makes us feel alive. Ankh is fundamentally about life and about feeling alive. And with the 6 of Wands, there's an element of victory here. Like there is a moment of victory that you have where there's this idea of leadership. I'm seeing this in both places. So I don't know if this is kind of push you towards some kind of work where you're going to be more of a leader rather than a follower, or a leader rather than you being the one in charge, which kind of makes sense with the Emperor here, rather than you just taking your marching orders from other people. But whatever you're doing is a chance to be recognized here with the 6 of Wands. So, and recognized for doing what it is that you really, really love. So, so this is something I think that you want to think about. I feel like perhaps your old way of doing things is coming to an end, and we are seeing this new possibility here. Now let's look at your home situation. We've got 4 of Wands with air. So, not a bad omen here. 4 of Wands does seem to indicate, Well, it's a stable situation or a secure one, but there's also a sense of a gateway that we're moving on to the next thing. And with air, there definitely seems to be the possibility of a move for some people, or at least just changes around the home. Like there's something new and different about your home situation, or even a family situation, because this also is the house of the mother and of the family more generally. So I don't know. Air can also mean in more of a mental sense that we need to detach from a situation. Like if a move is not in the picture for you, then air can also indicate that we need to, we may need to take a little bit of an emotional distance from something. In any case, the Four of Wands definitely does indicate a secure situation. So people who are maybe worried about sudden change or cataclysmic change in something, I mean, this is basically saying that things, are fairly secure. But there is a sense of getting ready to move on to the next thing. I always feel with Four of Wands that there is. It's interesting the way this card conveys it, because normally it's kind of almost an 11-11 pattern, but this one, you see, this one's kind of over here, and it's almost like the opening is here. It's like there's three things on this side instead of you just walking straight through a gate. So, in any case, though, we do have this conception here of a gateway. So yeah, something definitely new is happening with regard to your physical home or with regard to a family situation. But it may be something where you need to make sure you are looking at all the facts and not simply making a decision based on emotion of any kind, whatever the situation is. And of course, air would say to indicate, being friendly. Air can be an indicator that the thing that we are concerned about or the change that we're concerned about may not be as heavy duty as we think it's going to be. It's not necessarily that everything's going to be as, that it's going to be as problematic as we think. Because sometimes this comes up when we feel, if we feel like something is going to be a really heavy or anxious or draining kind of a change, this would indicate something a bit lighter, okay, in that sense. Now I'm going to look at your relationship houses. Normally I've been looking at those at the end, but yours are pretty straightforward here. Now it's interesting because you have, if I take the tarot cards away, you have Ta and Earth, which are both, this is Capricorn energy, and this is more generally Earth, which is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So I don't know if there's somebody who's a Capricorn in the picture here, but this is very, very solid, very practical. This is very unromantic energy, if I may say so. Ta is about somebody who, works very hard. This can also be working hard at a creative project of some kind, trying to build something. This could also just represent, though, somebody who's a hardworking person who has the finer qualities of masculinity, okay? And again, I should note that either men or women can have masculine or feminine qualities. This is just so in other words, this doesn't necessarily have to represent a man. This could just represent that kind of quality that is about building something strong and secure. And similarly, Earth can also just indicate, having money. But money is this is all about grounding and stability. And with the strong Saturn energy here, there's the suggestion that there may be a situation that is growing very, very slowly, or that if you're going to get involved with somebody, there's going to be a relationship, it may just be a very slow growing kind of a thing. We do have the Lovers card here, though, with Ta. So for some of you, this could mean new love or a new relationship. Lovers is your own energy, Gemini energy. And it could, just kind of looking at this situation, it may indicate an actual love affair in the 5th house, because the lovers in that house that would fit. But it can also represent the element of choice. So there could be some kind of a decision that you're making. Maybe there is a love interest, but maybe you're choosing between that and your career or your work life or something like that. The 7 of Chalices over here in your 7th house. See, this has to do with something that's either a delusion or maybe, delusion might be a strong word. It's not clear what's real and what's not real. So it's interesting that you have this with 2 cards that are very, very solid and very, very real. So I don't know. You may be so grounded and focused on what you're doing right now that if there is a love interest of some kind, or if there is this possibility here, it may not appear that way, or it may not feel that way right now. 7 of Chalices is kind of, or this could also indicate that maybe you're going to have lots of possibilities or more possibilities, or that this person down here, they may be a good person. I don't know. This person might make a better friend, or this might be somebody who you're just dating or involved with, but the idea that they might be involved long term right now just seems like that might be a bit pie in the sky at the moment. So I don't know. Take it as it resonates. But Seven of Chalices definitely has this idea of either too many options and not knowing which one's the right one, or the idea that something is just quite feels a little bit more like fantasy right now. But then again, seeing it with all of these solid cards, it could either mean just that you're interested in an earth sign person, or just that things are moving so slowly that you're not sure it's going to be a relationship at all. So if you're looking for love, right now it seems more like, I don't know, I feel like you're more practically focused right now, even though there could be a possibility over here with the lovers. Okay, let me look at your 9th house next. 9th house is the house of Sagittarius. That's your house of expansion, Jupiter energy. This could be about higher education. This could be about taking a long trip. This could be about faith and spirituality, just freedom more generally and flexibility, and sometimes legal matters as well. But we have Buckle of Isis with the Queen of Wands. Okay, so Queen of Wands, this is you definitely being visible, definitely being very attractive, being motivated. Queen of Wands is ambitious. She's good at, her energy is very strong, knows how to get what she wants. So again, this could be another person in your purview, or this could be you. It could be somebody you're learning from, this is in the house of education. But we do have Buckle of Isis here. So this is about efforts that we are making that will be rewarded. So I don't know, this could be a teacher or mentor here, or this could be you just being determined to, you've got this 3 of Wands here in the first house. You might be determined at this point to, and with the 4 of Wands here, to break boundaries, to do something new. Maybe you're thinking of going back to school. And maybe you're thinking, okay, do I want to spend the money on this? And maybe this is saying, well, yeah, it would be money well spent. This would be something good. Or in some way making a sacrifice. Maybe you're thinking of moving far away. Or, I don't know. For some of you, I feel like this could just be going back to school. This could be work you're doing in spirituality or on a spiritual path. But I feel like there's some kind of an effort that you're making here towards the future, towards what you're doing. And, and Queen of Wands is somebody very determined, very inspired, and somebody who knows what they want. So, I don't know. This is either a person who's going to help you with that expansion, or this is you, okay? And kind of just seeing some of this other, you've got this across from the Queen of Chalices. So, I don't know. You may have a couple of people. This is female energy that might be, you might be working with, might be helping you out right now, okay, in some way. But whatever you do to expand your horizons here, this is definitely indicating an effort that will not be wasted, one that will yield results, that will, be what it is that you want. Okay, now let me look at your 11th house next. I want to look at Aquarius energy. This is about your friendships, about what you're trying to manifest. And this is interesting. You have 3 queens here. This is interesting. 3 queens out of the 4. So these seem to be people who are around you. And you've got Hathor too, which is another strong feminine energy. So you've got a lot of feminine energy in your chart right now, Gemini. Whether this is family, whether this is friends, whether this is mentors or other people. Queen of Swords here with Hathor. This is like a no-nonsense, organized kind of energy. Queen of Swords, like Queen of Wands, is very passionate. She could be somebody who's very passionate, also just very lustful and seductive too. You know what I mean? Like it could be that kind of passion, or just someone who's very fiery. Queen of Swords is like a take no crap kind of person, but also somebody who may be a perfectionist, somebody who has very, very high standards. Can also just be a woman who is an air sign. Okay, you yourself are an air sign, so it could be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But there's definitely this strong air element, and we have it with Hathor here. So again, this kind of doubles down on the feminine energy. Now, what's interesting is that you have Ta, which is the kind of the animus quintessential masculine soul card in the 5th house, and in your 11th house, which is just opposite, you have Hathor, which is the quintessential feminine card in this deck. So there's almost like this balancing of masculine and feminine. You do have the Lovers down here, but you have the Queen of Swords up here. So this could be you. You could be in a position. This is the Queen of Swords is somebody who sometimes somebody recently widowed or divorced or something, or just somebody who I don't know, just somebody who's more emotionally detached. There is a fair amount of emotional detachment in this reading right now. Except for the Queen of Chalices down here. There is a challenge for you to use your heart here, for sure. but a lot of your wishes and what you're going for, I feel like there's a lot of female support, and that like I said, you may be kind of like a just the facts kind of person. Hathor is somebody who's like, I want to get things organized. I want to look at things very practically and realistically. And this is the house of friendship too. So this may be how you're responding in your friendships, not just in your love life here. So some different possibilities there with regard to that. But I don't know. I just feel like this reading looks like you have a number of people around you who are there to provide help and support in some way in you moving ahead, moving towards your goals, manifesting, communicating. So take that as it resonates. But the fact that I see these three queens, I'm like, I think these are not just representing traits. I think they're representing people that are going to be helpful to you. Now, if I go over to your 8th house, which is your house of transformation, we do have Justice and we have Nepothys. Okay, so Nepothys right now seems to indicate you're at this, that corresponds to Sphinx very well in the 1st house. There's this idea here that things there's change coming, but you're not quite ready for it yet. You want justice, you want all the facts, you want something to be fair, and you want balance in your life, okay? Justice is balance. Now, this could be balance in a relationship, this could be balance in terms of work-life balance or quality of life, but you are definitely focused on what's true here, what's true for you, and that does fit with the Queen of Swords, because the Queen of Swords is kind of a, don't give me any, like I said, any bullcrap kind of energy. So I do feel like there's a lot that's going on here, perhaps with finances, perhaps with your home, maybe with a love relationship, and definitely something with a job. But there's a sense here that you are being challenged to find that balance between masculine and feminine, to find that balance between head and heart. But there's still a lot here that you're waiting. It's waiting to be revealed. Things that have not quite happened yet are happening here. But yeah, there is a matter of getting what's fair and equitable. Justice sometimes comes up too when we are making changes that may involve legal matters in some way. So to take that as it resonates for you. Now, I look at this usually in conjunction with the 12th house, which is your Pisces house. This is Scorpio, this is Pisces, this is the house of self-undoing, self-doubt, and again, that space where we can imagine and dream big, but also where we could be filled with doubt about whether we're seeing something realistically. And wow, you've got Osiris with the Knight of Pentacles. So again, you've got this strong, this is stability. This is like the Emperor, okay? This strong, stable, secure energy. With Knight of Pentacles, there's a, again, I feel like there's a real desire here for stability, for financial stability, for, just for being able to do the things, like you're kind of being tested in terms of being, what can you do to manifest the things that you want? But Knight of Pentacles, this is a very slow and steady energy. Again, a lot of Saturn energy here, slow and steady. And so this could just indicate maybe that you're feeling like things are going too slow. Maybe they're too solid. Maybe you're looking for that change to occur. And it just feels like you're kind of plodding along step by step. There could be financial worries given that this shows up in the 12th house. But overall, you've got the Ace of Pentacles, okay? So Ace of Pentacles is a new start financially. This is a very positive omen for money and for stability and security. And you have it with the Crook and Flail. So the Crook and Flail, again, this is like Libra energy for me. This is like the Justice card. This has this idea of, first of all, this could have something to do with law or with equity or seeing something in the right way. This is definitely somebody who's on the right side of the law or on the right side of authority. So in other words, you're not in any trouble with anybody with this card. But there's a sense here of, I don't know, legal stuff, pursuing legal options for some people to achieve security. But this is also just about self-discipline and self-confidence, recognizing where you're in authority, recognizing, what your gifts and talents are, recognizing, just knowing what people look at you and respect you for. Okay, so there's a strong sense of that here, that you are about to be assessing your strengths and making some kind of a change here. Okay, that there's something that's ending here, but this new beginning definitely seems to be, there's a lot here that's just centered around finances, money, being concerned about money, but generally we have an energy here that's very, very stable. And whatever's going on, it's definitely encouraging you to look for what's true. And when I say what's true, I mean what's true and equitable, and what corresponds to your own internal truth. And yeah, what makes you feel alive. I do feel like this new era we're moving into, as Pluto moves out of Capricorn and we move into this new space, and that this new era is about who we authentically are, and finding a different way to express ourselves. It's not just all about going out to the grind and getting a job where we work 8+ hours a day and have no life, you know. This is, you know, to be successful. I mean, this is about a different way of doing things. So I do feel like that there's going to be movement and change here. You just might not be quite ready for it yet. I think during the period of this reading, probably, like I said, mid-November onwards, that things are going to be a little better in that regard. Okay, so let's see. What does Gemini need to know? I'm just going to pull an essential oil card and let's see what we have here. Ooh. Okay, so there's 3 that jumped out, actually. I'm only looking for 1, but since we have 3, we'll go with all 3. So our first one is the Clarity Sage card. Remember, these are oils. And the key word is insight. Your trigger statement is there is no hope. The true statement is there is a higher purpose. It says connect with your higher self and allow probably yourself to be guided to your higher purpose. As the veil of illusion falls away, you will find your answer. Yeah, that's interesting. The veil of illusion. And justice, seeing things very, very clearly. Not that this can also be that veil of illusion. So right now, like, yeah, the answer may not be easy to see, but the answers are coming. Then we have cypress oil, and the key word here is resilience. And the trigger statement is I need to control. Well, what about that? Emperor, Osiris, Knight of Pentacles. I need to control. The true statement is I surrender. Allow yourself to relax with the currents of life. These changes will take you even closer to where you meant to be. So in other words, yeah, you don't have to swim upstream. You'll be carried there. Okay. And finally, we have the turmeric card. And this is, keyword is belief. And our trigger statement is it's too late. And the true statement is, I am free to believe. You are clearing away beliefs, energy, and memories that no longer serve you, so the necessary decisions will be made. So yeah, this definitely makes sense here, because we're seeing a lot about clearing out, getting clear. Like right now, Gemini, you know, you're about getting clear emotionally, and getting clear in terms of where you are financially, family-wise, like in terms of stability. You know, what's true, what's right for you. And what kind of changes do you need to make? And this is basically saying don't sell yourself short in the changes that you need to make. Like you are capable of making the changes that you need to make. And you should not limit yourself with feelings like it's too late or there's no hope. Like it's saying, no, you don't want those statements. You are free to explore. And there may be, like I said, if it says there is a higher purpose is the other true statement, as they say, then it seems like everything that's been happening right now has been leading up to something. And whatever it's leading to is going to take you in the right direction of where you've meant to be. And even if you feel like you've been going in the wrong direction for a while, you really don't need to worry about that. Because as I've said to somebody recently, I said, even if you're on the wrong path, you know, even if you make a wrong turn or a wrong decision at some point, I think the current always carries us back to where we need to be. So anyway, I hope that reading was helpful, Gemini. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified about future videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in November.